Another week in hip-hop, and Infamous Amadeuz is here on the Inphamus Hour. Shout out to the loyal citizens of Boom Bap Nation. Each and every Thursday, 9 p.m., an interactive experience where we bring legendary artists pre-pandemic, in the pandemic, and past the pandemic, okay? Yeah. While your favorite DJs was going bookings now and they're in the strip club, I'm still here and I'm still outside and inside at the same time, okay? And, of course, the Infamous Hour is sponsored by 97 Piff, the first ever fully organic can of butter infused with haze and hydro. Everything we do is 97. Okay? And speaking of 97, the gentleman that I have on the line with me, Freestyles was crazy. Tony Touch Freestyle, super dope. Hell on Earth Freestyle is probably one of my favorite joints. And I specifically remember the white label, me getting the white label for the Illuminati joint. Crazy in high school, okay? Imam Thug, welcome to the Infamous Hour.
Check it. Yo. What's good, my dude? Thank you for having me, son. I appreciate you, man.
No doubt. Appreciate you coming. So, new single out now, and, the fans have been asking, like, what's up with Imam Thug? Obviously, we had some dope conversation prior to this. The solo catalog is kind of not out there. You did a lot of features, but, what makes you come 2022, drop a new joint on them?
Oh, man, just feeling the vibe, man. Like, coming from QB, man, it's just like, that spirit never leaves you, man. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up with our regular grind and stuff like that, and music is just like, hey man, you got to get back to this, Imam. You got things to finish, just unfinished business, man. I feel like I didn't want to cheat the game, man. I wanted to make sure I can deliver this album to the people and more projects too. I got a lot of more stuff coming too.
I know the fans are looking forward to it. So let's go back to the early beginning 90s. Hip hop was popping in Queensbridge, obviously, right? We had the KRS-One Shan battle, and then from there, once Illmatic came out, the whole entire culture shifted. And me being from the Bronx, like hearing the stuff that y'all was doing, I was like, damn, I wish I was from Queens. I mean, it's just honest, the instrumentation, the stuff that y'all was talking. But talk about the early days in Queensbridge and what influenced you to get into hip hop.
Well, no, the bridge was live when I was coming up, man. It was a real animal kingdom at the end of the day. But only the strong survive like that, man, at those times especially. But I'm just saying that to say, the battles with MC Shan and KRS-One, like we liked the song "The Bridge Is Over." When the shit came out, we thought it was hot. Don't get it twisted. Like, we thought the record was hot. We was bumping it and all that. Not more than the bridge, but we liked that. We liked the record when it came out. But Queensbridge was just was a rich place, man, where a lot of real G's, man, was around doing a lot of real things, man, in regards to just everyday life in Queensbridge, man. A lot of different activities out there, to say the least. But I'm just don't want to get too crazy with it. But I love the bridge, man. The Queensbridge, man, is just, the most infamous, man. The mob said it the best, man. It's like the most infamous projects in the world, man. What we experience, everybody knows each other, man. It's like, you can't bump into one artist that don't know another who came up from that time, including Marley Marl and all of that too. Marley's sister was just telling me how she was just around. She was like, I was around your building the other day, like, stuff like me and Marlon was over around there. So, coming from the same block, just having little conversations like that the world probably would never even hear, So shout out to Bell and everybody,
At what point, being in that environment, did you guys realize that you had something special? Because it kind of felt like 94 to maybe 98, almost every hot rapper in hip hop was coming from that area, right? Coming from this specific projects. And then you had, Nori coming from Left Rack. Obviously, Prodigy was from Long Island, but he's accepted as a Queensbridge artist. So when did you realize, like, damn, I'm really a part of something special?
Man, well, I'll tell you something, man. When I came home from up north the second time, man, and, Tragedy was doing a 25 to life. He tried to catch me the first time, and he caught me the second time. I was in Southside Jamaica, Queens, at my cousin. There's like a Tragedy in the backyard. So I was like, all right. So he was like, yo, I need you to work on this with me, boom, boom. He was working on it already. But I was just doing like street team stuff, things like that I take a lot of pride in too, man. A lot of those guys that still tap in with me today, remember, you know what I'm saying, the street team epics. Who the fuck is Capone Noriega stickers? Who the fuck is Imam Thug? Who the fuck is Khadafi stickers everywhere? You know, that was me facilitating that street team at that time, man. I had a lot of fun doing that. But it was just, you know, just me wanting to add on to what was happening, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of things happening, man. Capone Noriega was being developed. You know, Trad was like, you know, I was like, damn, if I can get nice, then I know I can seal a deal for him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just personally, you know what I'm saying? That was my personal view on it. And everybody kind of tapped in with it with me. Like, you know, Capone tapped in with it with me too, man. Like, you know, a lot of times, man, Capone spent together, man, and he, you know, I would spit something to him and he would tell me little things and I would take that in consideration and it would come out a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just like, you know, I just took everything, you know, that I learned from everybody, man. And just like, yo, I can be the best that I can be. That's where the driver's seats came in. That's where the True Confessions came in. That's where the Illuminati's came in. You know, it was just like an involuntary muscle. It was just something that was just happening. Just like this Immortal Legends, it's a project that's just happening.
Yeah. A shout out to the intelligent hoodlum himself. You know, and me and him have become very good friends. We have dope conversations about music and doing a lot of stuff, working behind the scenes. And I always expressed to him that the War Report is my personal favorite album, right? And it's not necessarily about lyrics and instrumentation, even though those combined. I always felt the energy was what was important, was what drew me to the project, right? This is not like a super commercially successful album in the terms of sales and stuff, but culture impact, it's there. What was the drive behind being with the whole 2-5 movement and specifically the War Report?
I mean, I think the whole movement was just you know, getting CNN out there, man. You know, that was the main thing. You know what I'm saying? That was the main focus. And everybody was was to fall in line with that right there, man. And the 2-5 thing with the Iron Sheik thing with me and Tragedy was supposed to come like right after that. That was the design right there. Was for us to come right after that with that. But you know, we was doing the LA thing. There was a lot of East Coast, West Coast drama. You know, I was just coming home, throwing dudes in the trunk. You know what I mean? In the projects, torturing dudes in the kitchen, just acting the fool. And you know, that was just stuff. You know, that was just stuff that we wanted to bring across to the screen, to the people. You know, visually. So that was the thing. It was just about developing CNN, and my job was just to accomplish my assignments. You know what I'm saying? As a brand new artist, because I didn't even know how to rhyme at that time. When I started rhyming, I only knew how to rhyme like 3 months, 90 days. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Yeah, I was nice in like 90 days. It took me a while to kind of figure it out too after I crashed. Because I had a crash too. I learned so fast I had a crash. So I had to rebuild and things like that. Yeah. That's where I started making songs on the War Report too. You know what I'm saying? Thug Planet and started doing shit like that. Like, you know, started regaining my strength and shit like that as an artist.
I remember, and we were talking about this in high school. I remember me being in high school and getting the Normality freestyle white label, right? And you know, when I first received this record, you know, corner store. I mean, this is back block Bronx days. Like you're navigating to the Habibis to get, you know, the bootleg of the bootleg. So this is like third string of what I'm getting. I mean, this is real Bronx hip hop in the 90s.
That's right.
And when I first got the record, I thought it was a Nori record. Until obviously I got into journalism and I found out that it was actually your record with Tragedy. Why didn't we get a 2-5 you and Tragedy album or body of work? Because you guys were killing the mixtape scene and you guys were killing the freestyles. So what was the dynamic that it actually didn't allow it to happen?
You know what? I don't think I can answer that question only because I wasn't really in control of the situation at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really navigating the shit. So I didn't really know exactly, you know, where there was a lot of waves at that time, man. So I didn't know which way the shit was going to go and things like that. I wasn't the captain. So I didn't know which way it was going to go. You know what I'm saying? I wish it would have happened though, because I love the Illuminati shit. The True Confessions is one of my favorite songs. That was one of the songs that I spearheaded in my career. You know what I'm saying? Which is what I mean by spearheaded, I mean by I developed the tempo where the song's gonna go. Like Driver's Seat. I wrote the chorus, I spit the verse, I set the tempo for where the song is gonna go. You know, the True Confessions is the same thing. I set the tempo for where the song's gonna go. Illuminati, I set the tempo for where the song's gonna go. You know, all of that type of shit. Thug Planet too. Set the tempo for where the song's gonna go. So, you know, I just try to utilize that energy in my own artwork, man. And I just don't have the answers for what happened with the decisions that was made back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sure that I don't cheat the game right now by giving people more Imam Thug product.
Yeah. Yeah. Major key alert, independent artist. If you're watching, that is a major key alert. Also, one of the things that I remember in the mixtape circuit, I remember that they spelled your name. It was Imam, and then Thug was almost like an acronym, right? I remember it was like T.H.U.G, right? But you're not spelling your name like that anymore. Is that correct? What was the actual meaning behind your name? It was like truth, hunger, understanding, growth. Is that correct? Or?
That's right. But I am spelling it like that right now.
Okay.
Right now, people know me right now as the immortal legend. Imam Thug, the immortal legend. I'm saying how I came back, you know what I'm saying, from the fucking grave, man, to produce an album like this. It's and spit it at a high clip, man. It's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? I got the best quality of a sound on it with Steve Sola, different things like that, making sure that I can I don't cheat the people on the sound and how this project is going to be put together from A to Z. You know, so yeah, man. You know, I put my own money behind it. You know, I built my own studio.
And
you know, you can click. Yeah, you can ding that too. Ding, you know what I mean?
There it is.
Yeah, we can run it off. Yeah.
There it is. Now, obviously, you talked about you spent some time in jail, and I also spent some time in the mountains as well. And one of the things that I took away from being incarcerated, what I learned that took me throughout my life, was I learned patience. Right, patience was the lesson from incarceration that I took. But you going through the revolving door. What was the one thing that you took from it, like personally, that you carry on a day-to-day basis?
I would hate to say regret, because we never want to really regret any of the things that we've done in the past, because that's what shaped us for who we are today. But I would say it just made me stronger, man. It made me able to deal with anything in this world.
Yeah.
You know, whatever I'm going through in life, I kind of remember a lot of the shit that I've made it through.
Yeah.
You know, when I look at a lot of things I made it through, coming out, untouched, man, and going through and seeing a lot of different things, and a lot of different from a lot of different angles. I know a lot of most people probably wouldn't survive these things. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful.
And you being up north in the 90s is much different than being up north now. We're talking about a heavy climate, guys migrating from Rikers, getting sent downstate, getting sent up north. And around the time that you were actually incarcerated in Clinton, Pac was like in and out at that same time. Do you have any run-in with him, by any chance during the time you were there?
No, I didn't, man. But I know that when I got there, my man from QB was like, "Yo, Pop just came through here." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "Wow." So it's like I just missed him. We came from one, and I got transit in. I guess he had just got moved out, or whatever the case may be. But the homies saw him.
Yeah. So they were definitely tapped in. Now, when I tap back into specifically the freestyles, right? And we spoke a little bit off air, the Tony Touch joint, the Hell on Earth freestyle is one of my favorites. One of the things that I actually liked about you as a lyricist, that it wasn't necessarily revolved around gangbanging, right? And this is a gangbanging culture in the 90s, right? This is really shoot, kill, stab, destroy. But you were more like talking the street shit, of course, but also spitting knowledge and giving guys game. And what made you want to be that type of lyricist when you could have just followed, what other guys were doing as far as the whole gang culture of what hip hop was during that time?
Well, it's for the same reason now that I stand on the same principles now. It's just knowledge itself, and being righteous, and not saying that, those brothers don't have their own way of righteousness, but, when you follow a certain way of life, then you gotta have you gotta be humble. You gotta have a certain balance and a certain mind state of righteousness, man. You know, and be willing to grow. You know what I'm saying, and willing to forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying, for your own shortcomings. And be able to you know, improve yourself, man.
I remember hearing you on the Violator joint. That must have been like 99. What was it working like? What was it like working with Chris Lighty? Because Chris Lighty, and you know, we're losing a lot of hip hop greats. You just lost K Slay. Obviously, you've been on some of his joints as well.
Rest in peace to Slay. Yes.
You know, but Chris Lighty's impact on hip hop is just tremendous, and I don't think people really understand, especially the way that his death has such a cloud over it. But specifically working with him, what was it like working with him?
Well, to be honest with you, I never really knew Chris Lighty like that. To be honest with you, it's just that the people that I was working with knew him like that. You know, so you know, that wasn't my position. Like, you know, at that time, like I said, I was just a featured artist, just there to, you know, hey, yo, Imam, we need you to do this. We need you to do that. Well, it wasn't a set really plan to be like, yo, we're gonna work on this album for you. Gonna work on the Imam Thug album, and we're gonna make sure that this is what it is. You know what I mean? That's the focus for me right now, which is the same thing how I felt too at that time too. But you got a lot of different people focusing on a lot of different priorities, and you know, you're just trying to make sure that you can assist wherever you can. And just not, you know what I'm saying, not complain too much about things. Even today, we don't complain about things too much. We just do what we got to do.
That's very honorable. Imam Thug in the building. You're now watching the Infamous Hour. I'm your host, the infamous Amadeuz. We are scanning the chat right now as I'm sipping some Jack Daniels honey with ice because I have no Hennessy. Hennessy's gone. My wife actually drunk the Hennessy. Now, we spoke about... No, she did. She drunk all the Hennessy. Round of applause for her. Okay? She did. It's Mother's Day weekend. I can't tell her anything. So we spoke about, obviously, your feature catalog is extensive, right? I mean, you've been a part of CNN. I mean, you've been on a bunch of different projects, freestyle stuff. But why you never took the time to say, you know what? Let me chill for a minute. I need to focus on the Imam Thug project.
Man, well, to be honest with you, I got up in corporate America a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot. And you know, over the past decade, I've been like building my empire there, man. Corporate America, man, like create jobs and you know, a lot of different things like that, man. Making the young adults aware of the economic opportunities out there in the procurement areas on different levels of operation as it pertains to the city, the state, and government, and different things. There's a lot of money that we're not engaged in, and they're looking for minorities, contractors, and vendors, and different things like that to get some of this $2.1 billion that's out there. You know, so but that's what Imam Thug has been doing. I've been a part of that corporate atmosphere. You know,
Was that transition easy for you going from hip hop to the corporate space? I interviewed Mike Geronimo. He kind of did the same thing. Like, he dropped an album, and then he basically opened like a camera company. He's installing cameras, and you know, he's happy doing that. So was that transition easy for you? And also, you know, just as a musician, was it almost like a hit to your, you know, because every artist wants to feel like they're the best artist. I'm the best rapper ever. And to even step behind any curtain at any point, it's almost like that's a real man decision. Like, you know what, let me step away from the hip hop stuff. Let me go behind the thing. So, you know, how was that transition for you personally?
Well, I always been doing that. Like, I've been, you know, I've been like, you know, like subcontracting since I was young, 21, man. So I've been doing that before hip hop. So it was just a matter of me, you know, taking it to a corporate level. You know, that was the deal. Taking it to a corporate level, bossing it up. You know, and that's what we did, man. We leveled it up, and we're doing a lot of big business, man. Specifically in South Miami and in the whole state of Florida, man. It's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, round of applause for you. Keeping it busy and productive. Now, I also remember early 2000s Die Hard album, buzzing in the streets, but we can't find it. it's not available anywhere. So how does that come into play? Is that label situations? Is that maybe you wait until you have control of your own project to get it? Because obviously the people want to hear it, and when they watch the interview, they're like, "Yo, where's the diehard?" That people know you for that.
Yes, the diehard man. Yes, that was another like growing situation, and you know what I'm saying, as a young artist, you're trying to really, like operating as a corporate. Even with this album, I'm not conducting it as an artist, you know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're conducting from a business aspect.
Yeah, it's more. I'm operating as a firm.
As
you
a
know,
firm,
my company is pushing this album. Yeah, so it's a little different from looking at it as an artist. You miss a lot of things when you're coming into this game and you look at it as an artist. You miss a whole lot. You know, when I do a lot of contracts now in the corporate world. So when I look back, it's like, you see a lot of mistakes. So it's a lot to learn from. That's all. It's just growth and development, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, growth and development. Now, coming back into the hip hop space, we're in a much different time. The Inphamus Hour, Boom Bap Nation, we have a real core fan base of, I would say, like 37 to 55, right? And our fan base, much like most hip-hop fans from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, they have a habit of, instead of going to get the new Imam Thug project, they go back to True Confessions and hear you on War Report and some of the other stuff you've done. What do you think us as a hip-hop community, because you seem like a good person to ask this, what do you think as a hip-hop community we can do to re-engage the fans back into the new material that the legendary artists are dropping?
I think that a lot of the new fans, man, are just also looking for new material too. We like the old stuff too, but we're looking for new material too. So I like a lot of the old stuff that a lot of my favorite artists did, but I want to hear a lot of new shit too. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to give them the new shit. So we want to drop the album and let them pick and choose from what they like, what they don't like. We catering to the whole world. What I'm saying? We're not catering to one audience. When you listen to this album, every song is gonna take you to a different space, man. It's not like a one-dimensional record. So I just want people to just get in where they fit in with the project. Whatever you like, whatever you don't, you don't. But I just want people to appreciate the work, man.
Most definitely. Here on the Inphamus Hour, we have a top 5 segment. I've done everything from top 5 fast food to top 5 this, top 5 that. So, and this is going to be a one-of-one question. I may ask other people in the circle along the lines of the same thing, but I'm going to ask you first. Top 5 Queensbridge rappers of all time. Shoot for it.
All right, I'm gonna say Imam Thug, number 1. That's right. We're gonna go. Even though P not from the projects, we represent P. We hold him down. We're gonna say the immortal legend, Prodigy.
Right.
We're gonna definitely go with Esco, because you can't leave Esco off that list. Let's be very clear.
Yeah, that's 3.
That's 3. That's right. All right, number 4. We're gonna go with let's go. Oh man, there's so many. Let's see. So who am I gonna pick? Let's MC Shan. Let's go with MC Shan.
All right, that's 4.
Yeah. We got the bridge. Maybe we can't leave him out. Now we got the last one. Oh man, this is a very political one right here, man. This is very, very political, man. Who's it gonna be? I'm gonna say Tragedy Khadafi.
Tragedy Khadafi.
Yeah.
Tragedy, he's famished. I mean, he's still rapping with the hunger of day one. So, all right, so
that's right.
So we have the new single out now. Talk about the record. What can the fans expect when they go stream this song and interact with your new material?
I would say embrace the new shit, man. It's a new vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's a new vibe. It's something that you can, do your 1, 2, 2, man. I know that the ladies are probably gonna love it in the club and different things like that, man. The homies is like, man, the girls are gonna love that. So we just here to make sure that everybody can just have fun with the music, man. So hopefully you can listen to it, have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? With your lady, with your wife, with your girl, you party with 6 girls, whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? This is that type of record. So me and my wife have a good time to this record. So I'm just saying, this is a dope record. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and when can the fans expect the album?
The album, we're looking for the album to drop on June 7th.
Okay, June 7th. We have a date here on the Inphamus Hour. Exclusive.
That's right. Mixed and mastered by Steve Sola. Yeah.
Major Key Alert. Now, in the time that you were in the featured circle, right, or just creating, was there ever an instrumental or something that you could have got on that maybe, you didn't, maybe somebody else jumped on it, maybe you didn't hand the verse in time? That ended up becoming like a classic.
I mean, like, I think everything I heard I wanted to jump on, man, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
Everything. I was, every record that I had, I want to get on it. So, one of my favorites that I really liked was the Strange Fruit record. It was produced by Pete Rock. That was one of my favorite joints, man. I was there when that record was recorded in the studio, and I was like, damn, I wanted to get on that joint right there. That was right there. That was awesome. But that's one of my personal favorites that I wanted to get on. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, while navigating in these circles, was there anybody from Queensbridge or just Queens in general that you felt had the potential to be a superstar artist, but maybe didn't get their fair shot?
Yeah. There's a few artists out that that's like that, man. The hood is like we have a lot of those guys, man, including myself. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm grateful for the opportunity I had to be on a lot of platinum records and a part of gold albums for my contribution, and personally and stuff like that. So I'm grateful for all of that. But the hood, we got a lot of artists that that are nice, that that should be coming out, man. We got Ruck, we got Piff Jones that's out there scrapping right now. The list goes on and on, man. Nature, he could have, he had a great rise with the firm too, but he still could have been great. You got Wiz too. Wiz from the Bravehearts, all of that whole Braveheart camp, all of those guys, they did great things, but we all have the potential to be great. Queensbridge is full of greatness, man.
Yeah.
And one thing we're gonna keep doing, as a Queensbridge unit, is we're gonna keep putting out work, and we're gonna keep supporting each other, man. You're gonna hear Queensbridge artists on my record. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Nas or whether it's Capone or if it's whether it's Ruck or we're always gonna be able to mix and mingle with one another. That's how I feel personally.
Being someone who has both been in front of the mic, behind the mic, and working the A&R type of structure and promoting records, we have a lot of independent artists that's watch this show, that listen to me on Sirius XM, and they consistently looking for advice. So from someone who's been on both sides, like, what is the best advice that Imam Thug could not only give to an independent artist, but maybe the younger Imam Thug?
I would say definitely focus on the business. Focus on the business. Being an artist is great, but you need to focus on the business. Because if your business is not being handled right, you're not really doing nothing.
Yeah.
You're not really doing nothing. It's the same thing on the corporate world, man. You got a lot of guys who, you operate with insurance, but you ain't got no license. You can't get big contracts. You're not getting, $3.5 million contracts operating that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not getting $7 million contracts operating that way. $10 million contracts operating that way. So we just have to learn how to dot our I's, cross our T's, and conduct our business right, and be a great artist at the same time, man. It's a great marriage. So when the two meet, it's a great marriage, man. We don't know that in the beginning. Because a lot of things we don't know.
Yeah.
That's why we fuck up a lot. When we was younger, we ain't know a lot of shit. But now, we know things, and we trying to put what we know into play and see what happens, man. It's up to the people. We working on V12's album and right now too. He got some great music coming out. I'm working very closely with him on his new project. And Steve is mixing and mastering his project as well. And we're just trying to keep it QB. That's all.
Are record labels making a mistake in 2022 by not implementing the artist development structure, right? Because it's almost like they're grabbing kids off of IG. You know, and as far as street culture has always been a saying, like when you get hot in your hood, they kind of, you know, piggyback off it. But, you know, our labels in this sense making a mistake, because it kind of feels like obviously the music is being consumed faster, but the records are not lasting. Right. And a lot of that has to do with the development of the actual record. So is this a mistake, and how can labels correct this structure?
I'm not sure if it's too much of a mistake. I think that artists need to work more, you know, as with a business mind, or with somebody who knows more about business. Mm-hmm. That's not caught up in the industry.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want, you know, if you're working with a bright mind mm-hmm. outside of the industry that can consult with you and give you a solid information, then you can move a lot better with your decisions mm-hmm. inside of the industry. Mm-hmm. You know, so my advice would be try to have somebody to work with you that's not too much caught up in the industry, that can advise you. That's an intelligent person.
Most definitely. Final question, Imam Thug. When it's all said and done, what is your legacy? What do you want to leave? I mean, obviously you're not done writing this book. There's still many chapters, but what is your goal as far as the impact you want to leave on the culture, hip hop, and the people who like to listen to you?
My goal is just to to satisfy the people, man. I just want to be an artist that was known to give the people everything that he had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it right there.
Mm-hmm. Imam Thug on the Inphamus Hour. If they want to follow you on social media, where can they follow you at?
You can find at Imam Thug _QB. You know what I'm saying? And you can also follow me, you know what I'm saying? You can catch me on Facebook, man. We all over the place, man. You type in Google, you find us all over the place. But we out here, we working on new projects, new material. We got the album release party. We looking to get going in Tampa with my man DJ Cap. So we're gonna bring some people out. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come out, I'm saying we can get you out too, family. And make sure you're in a good space.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? Come out and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? That's right. It's about hospitality, man.
Hospitality and Hennessy.
And Hennessy.
This is the Inphamus Hour. I'm your host, the Infamous Amadeuz. Make sure you listen to me, Sirius XM, Shade 45, every single Thursday, noon EST for the new hip-hop boom-back classics, and 3 p.m. for the throwback classics. Make sure you subscribe to the Inphamus Hour. Follow myself, follow Boom Bap Nation, and follow Imam Thug. Till next time, stay safe, stay productive, and stay COVID-19 free. See you then.